Earbuds with switchable cables? Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the RevoNext RX8 in-ear headphones, aka earbuds, and they're pretty interesting. They have a really cool design, but what's most interesting is you can get different cables for them, and the different cables have different characteristics with sound. Theoretically, we'll come back to that. So let's start with an unboxing. So here we have the RX8, and I'm going to go ahead and open them up, and I've kind of cheated because I've already listened to them, but then I put them right back in the box exactly as you would get out of the box, because the out of the box experience is super important, and you got to hook it all up correctly or you're going to be really frustrated and wonder what the heck's wrong with these earbuds. So we'll get there. Now, instructions. Way more interesting are the actual earbuds themselves, and it comes with 2 sets of additional ear tips. As always, get the right size ear tips to work with your ears. And then I'm going to pull the foam cube out, so that has the extra ear tips and the earbuds themselves, which of course are not hooked up to the wire because, no surprise, the wires are switchable, right? That's the big thing. Now, there's also a lower box in here, and this is actually the default copper cable. So let's have a look at what that looks like. And it's pretty cool colors, actually. So this is what they refer to as their transparent blue, and you can see in the close-up that you can sort of see all the mechanisms inside. Pretty cool. Here's the cable it comes with, and if I undo it, you'll see that on one end is a 3.5 millimeter connector, pretty standard stuff. And on the other end, it splits into a Y, and then those both actually have these tiny 0.78 millimeter connection or double wire connections on them, really tiny little things. And here's the trick, is you gotta get everything hooked up correct to correct, right to right, left to left, and in the right orientation, because these are the kind of earbuds that go over your ear and down from the top. Now, each one has, and it's really small, it has a very small indicator, so this is right. Now I need to find the right earbud, and the earbuds also have that marking on them, so this one's also right and correct. So right to right, obviously, plugs in, there you go. And did I do it right? Well, that looks about right. So that looks like something I can put over my ear and then in from the top, and they're quite comfortable. Now I have to do the same with the left. So that's basically the whole thing. If you go and look at like on Amazon and read the reviews, a lot of people say they don't sound good, they're not comfortable. It's because they didn't put it together correctly. Now, you are kind of on your own. You really have to be paying a lot of attention to get this just so. But here we go, here's the left one, and I think I did it wrong, because if I do this over my left ear, the earbud's pointing outward. So for the earbud to be pointing in, then the wire is over the front of my ear. That ain't how it's supposed to work. So you pull it apart, you put it back in the other way, not super hard. All right, let's get this all to fit. There we go. And now it goes over my ear and very comfortably into my ear. So you can see that works pretty easy. And then you just plug this into a music source. I happen to have my iPhone that doesn't have an audio jack, but I have the adapter. So now let's just give it a quick listen. Let's see, what should I listen to? Let's listen to whatever it is that's in iTunes right now. And let's see. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take these out because they sound really great and you don't wanna just watch me listening to some jazz music. I get it, it's totally cool. So that's the whole deal here. So from an unboxing perspective, you know, it comes in pieces. This is sort of like Lego headphones, right? So you got to put it together, and you want to make sure that when you sort of think about how this is going to fit over your ear, that the ear tip is pointing inward and that you have right to right and left to left. Now, with that same spirit, you can then go to their wires from the other kind of wires, and these are the much thicker, more heavy duty, and theoretically higher audio quality silver cables. So exactly the same thing. You can see right in the middle, there's a tiny little left and a tiny little right connector for the ear tips, so I can switch them, and I'll do that while we're talking. But I have to say, when I auditioned them, I didn't really hear a whole lot of difference between the silver cables and the copper cables that are blue. So, you know, whether you want to upgrade is something you can decide for yourself. Let's mute that music. And, you know, it's just something that you can figure out, because they also actually have attachments for these little earbuds that can make them Bluetooth earbuds. They also have ones that have a microphone on the line. So these are not microphone. They're not for phone calls. It's just for listening to music. Nice and easy. Now on this, there's right. And let's look on the earbud itself. And like I said, there's a little bit of finesse involved. So here's right to right. And let's see, we want it to go over my ear. Whoops. So I think we want to plug it in this way. So that'll fit over my ear and then into my ear. Yep, that's correct. And then again, I want to do it on the other side. And you just got to figure this out, because if you don't do this, you're going to either have the wires in very strange positions, but more importantly, you're going to end up with the earbuds not going into your ears at the correct angle. So a lot of earbuds, you actually just have the wire coming down, but these are designed, as are many of the really high-end ones, to actually come in from the top and go in. So now I'm ready to roll with different earbuds and the higher quality silver. So let's go ahead and plug this in and give it a listen. Well, it's louder. Okay, I really just can't stop listening. So let me tell you a little bit about these. So obviously it comes with different cables. The default or included cable is copper, and the color matches the color of the ear tips themselves, or earbuds themselves, whatever you want to call them, in-ear headphones. And so that's really nice. They have, let's see, they're dual driver balanced armature with 7 to 40,000 hertz sound reproduction, way more than I can possibly hear, and 105 decibels of sensitivity. They get really loud. You know, if you put them in wrong, if you have the wrong ear tips, you're going to say, I don't hear much in the way of bass. But when you get it all right, they actually have good bass. Not earth-shattering, not massive bass, but very, very nice, good sound. And there's a nice crispness and cleanness to the sound. So particularly at this price point, these actually are really nice sounding little earbuds. And, you know, they have not a huge amount of soundstage, which is the sort of spatial sense of where instruments are and stuff when you sort of close your eyes and try to 3D visualize what you're listening to. But there's just a nice crispness. A little bit on the high side. The bass is good. It's not too thumpy, but if you're into like electronic music and stuff like that, you might want more bass. So you can maybe mess with the EQ on your device or something, right? So they sound good. No active noise cancellation, no AAC, none of that sort of stuff, right? No aptX. These are just low-end budget headphones. So that's, you know, perfectly functional for what they are. They have rough impedance of 25 ohms. So that, again, that tells you that even your phone will be able to drive them just fine. And the cable, each of these cables is 1.25 meters. So there's plenty of distance for you to have your phone in your pocket and be listening to and enjoying some music. As I said, 3 sizes of ear tips. I really like their packaging. It's small, it's simple, but it works. I think they probably need to have a little sticker on each one saying, check for which ear is which and match the wires, because honestly, when I first pulled them out of the box, I had them in wrong, I had them disconnected, I had them connected to the wrong ears, I had them in my ears wrong. It took a while for me to sort of understand the nuance of how this all works. And you don't have to go through that because I just showed you how to do it, right? So match right to right, left to left, make sure they're oriented correctly, come in from above your ears, and they'll sound good. So now let me tell you the price, because you'll be pretty amazed. So the price with the default copper wire, so that is the RevoNext RX8 in-ear headphones. But hold on, before I actually tell you the price, let me ask if you can subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate when you do that. Thank you. Cool. Now, these, well, I don't know, maybe we'll say this. These RevoNext RX8 in-ear headphones with the default copper wire in transparent blue. You can get it with or without microphone. Comes in a bunch of different colors. $22.99 at Amazon.com. That's pretty painless. If you want to upgrade to the silver cable by itself, it will not do you any good unless you also buy the RX8 to go with it. But the silver cable is an additional $19.99. So if you want to get this set up with the blue earbuds and the silver cable, or blue ear pieces and the silver cable, then that's going to run you about 40 bucks, but you don't have to. Honestly, I couldn't really hear a whole lot of difference between the silver cable and the default copper cable. So you might have better ears or more nuanced ears, but this is a really nice starter set. Just make sure you hook it all up correctly because it's on you to make sure you did it right. And speaking of which, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.